Are you feeling stuck in your business like 24/7, that you have no hours to do the things that you know you need to be doing? Instead, you find yourself doing all the things that you think you should be doing. Which is why in today's video, I want to talk to you about the first few tasks that you can actually outsource. And we're going to talk about how you can outsource them to AI. Now, full disclosure, I am not someone who has been on the AI bandwagon from the start. I have literally said no to AI until 2025. And the main reason why I was saying no is that I actually just didn't understand what AI could do. I am a writer, first and foremost. And so when people were talking about how they were using AI to write emails and write blog posts, I was like, well, I don't have a problem writing, so I'm just not even going to touch it. But it wasn't until I started digging a little deeper and discovered just how powerful AI can be in helping to automate some of the tasks that might be taking up your to-do list without you even being aware of them. So let's dive in. And hey, if we haven't met, I'm Lise, a founder of Hustle and Groove, and I have helped over 1,000 female creative entrepreneurs grow their businesses and create daily sales without social media. So let's talk about the role of AI in your business right now. Now, most of us have already gone down the path of repurposing content. I think that's probably one of my fave reasons for using AI is repurposing. It's a huge thing to kind of take off your shoulders, particularly if you're trying to create a ton of content across multiple platforms. But secret squirrel, I don't recommend doing that if you're not making the income that you want to be doing. Instead, focus on one platform. But I digress. Let's come back to what we're actually talking about today, and that is what are 5 key tasks that you can outsource today and use AI to help you. Now, I'm going to talk you through a few different tools. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. The ones I'm going to be recommending, ones that I have personally used myself, that's why I'm going to talk about them. But anything else, I'm sure if you do a quick Google search, you'll be able to find them. So let's talk about the tasks that you can actually start outsourcing to reduce your overwhelm and to reduce your to-do list so that you're only focusing on daily cash flow activities. That's the only thing that we want to be doing on our to-do list. So let's head on into task number 1. Sometimes it's the most obvious that we miss, and I certainly miss this one, and that is to outsource scheduling and calendar management. Now, I'm someone who just uses Google Calendar, nothing fancy, until I discovered Motion. And one of the things that I really love about Motion is that once it understands what your important tasks are, hint, daily cash flow activities, then anything that you input into Motion will be automatically updated and generated into task priority. So if you haven't checked out something like Motion, then I definitely encourage you to go and have a look at that, see what works for you. But there are some other options. You can absolutely use Calendly as an option. It's not as AI specific as Motion. It won't organize your calendar for you, that type of thing. There are some AI capabilities in there. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to what is it that you actually need from a scheduling and calendar management system, and then you decide which AI tool is going to work best for you. But the two that I would recommend checking out is Motion and Calendly, depending on what it is that you're actually doing. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is what is the next task, and that is customer service. And depending on the business that you're running, your customer service could be managed directly from your website. So if you have a lot of traffic coming to your website, particularly when it comes to sales pages or your shop pages, you can have a customer service chatbot hanging out on your website. Now, ChatGPT is probably the easiest one to use. Now, you will need to be having access to OpenAI. You'll have to pay for that. But honestly, it's probably only going to be around $10 for about a 6-month period. That has certainly been my experience. So setting up your own customer service chatbot is relatively simple. If you just go and jump on YouTube and search for that, there are tons of walkthrough videos that walk you through how to do that. Now, there are some tools that exist that you can plug into your website to do this. So again, depending on your level of wanting to know how to do all the things, or whether you just want to add a plug into your website, then you can look at other resources for that as well. But definitely customer service can be a massive time suck. And again, it just depends on how much you want to be involved. Personally, I love responding to emails, so I have no problem doing that. But I do see the benefit of having something on your website in terms of if someone's trying to find something, it is going to be able to be handled by the customer service chatbot versus the person actually just literally leaving your website. So, relatively easy to implement, definitely something that you want to check out. The third task that you definitely want to consider outsourcing is your social media management. Now, if you haven't done this yet, then I bet this is probably one of the biggest time sucks that you're experiencing right now. Here to tell you, it is really simple to literally hand this off to a tool. Now, a lot of the tools that already exist from a social media scheduling standpoint have AI built into them. My personal favorite is Buffer, followed closely by Hootsuite. I used to use Hootsuite, switched to Buffer, just down to user interface, really. I'm just a huge fan of using Buffer. It's very simple. I love that it has a Chrome browser plugin, all of those things. So the great thing about Buffer is that you can go in, schedule a whole bunch of stuff, but it can automatically use the AI to schedule it based on when people are actually online. So over time, it learns. So it's going to give you some of that feedback. It's also going to give you recommendations on content for sharing. And this is probably one of the things that I love most about Buffer is that we want to be sharing our own content, yes, but we also want to share other people's content. So it does a really good job of finding things for you to share, particularly if you're someone who is on social media a lot. So definitely, if you are not scheduling your social media content right now, then I definitely recommend checking out either Buffer or Hootsuite. Either of those options, plus there are tens of thousands of other options that you can use, but those are probably the two that I've had the most experience with and are easiest to get up and running. Task number 4 is if you need to get insights, so data insights, and I'm a huge fan of making decisions with data versus feelings and emotions because data helps paint a picture and gives us the actual facts rather than us assuming a whole bunch of things. So I'm a huge fan of doing data analysis. Now you can use ChatGPT for this, but if you want something that is a little bit better at analyzing, I personally love Perplexity or Gemini. Both of those are AI tools, free to use to a certain extent, and allow you to upload information, Excel spreadsheets, PDFs, all of those things, and give you insight into what it is that is going on. Now, obviously, you've probably got Google Analytics installed as well. So that is definitely something that you definitely want to also consider looking at, adding it to your website dashboard, all of those things. But if you want to dive a little bit deeper and actually get a report that you can understand, then my biggest recommendation would be Perplexity first, then Gemini. And sometimes it's good to mix up and use both tools to see which insights you actually get. Now, again, those tools are only going to be as good as the input. So make sure that when you are using either Perplexity or Gemini, that you're very specific about what it is that you're looking for. What is the actual outcome or the result that you're actually trying to get from analyzing that data? And then that will give you what it is that you're actually looking for. It's a fun exercise and something that I recommend doing on a monthly basis if you're not already doing that. So, things that you can use to analyze things like your open and click rates on your last 30 broadcasts, right? Whatever that looks like. I'm sending daily emails, so that's what that would be for me. You could also do it on specific funnels that you've got set up. You can do it on your YouTube video content. Anything that you want data to help inform your next move is where you're going to use that. And then lastly, the final task that you definitely want to outsource, email marketing automation. Now, any email platform that you use is going to have AI built in. They're pretty much have been running on AI for a very long time or some version of it. So it just depends on the platform that you're using. I personally recommend Kit and have been using Kit, formerly ConvertKit, for over 10 years, and I can't recommend them enough. But there are other options. There's ActiveCampaign, which is similar, on par, Constant Contact. Any of those have AI built in and allow you to use it to automate your email marketing. That's how they've been built. So when it comes to setting up automations, what I love about Kit is that there are a ton of pre-built templates that you can literally plug and play. Now, how the AI works in the background, and not so much in the foreground, but in the background, is that it is doing things like increasing your deliverability based on things that are happening in your account, optimizing sequence, time sending, all of those things based on the interactions that you have with your actual subscribers, or rather Kit has with your subscribers. So when you're setting things up, just make sure that whatever email marketing tool you're actually using has pre-built automations in place and AI to help you even further. Now, if you need help writing your emails, then this is where obviously your AI tool of choice can help you, which leads me into the tool that I love to use, which is Magi. Now, I've done a video on this previously, so I'll link to that above so that you can see exactly how I use Magi and why I believe it's far superior to pretty much every single tool that we have just gone through. So your next step is to literally sit down and make a list of the tasks that you feel just aren't worth your time, as in you don't want to be doing them anymore. Then ask yourself the question, is there an AI tool that can automate this for me? Or do I actually need to hire someone to do this for me? Because AI isn't a replacement for a human being ever at this point in time anyway. And so I want you to always just kind of run that through your own mind. Do you want the ability to have someone that is going to report back to you, that you're going to update on the regular? Then you might want to actually hire a person. Otherwise, you can use AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Then, if you actually want to know how to set these things up for yourself in your own business, that's just one of the things that we do inside the Grow, Nurture, Sell Collective. More details on that below or up on the screen here. And in the next video, we are going to talk about the 3 routines that will save you from failing. Can't wait to dive into those. I'll see you in that video.